What do you miss the most about being president of the WBF?
Look, I had this very strong strategy to put bridge as a sport and to include it in the sport, let's say, bodies, whereas the IOC or Sport Accord and everything. One of the things that I miss is that, unfortunately, the National Bridge Organization, the NBOs as we call them, are not really following all what we can recommend. For instance, this strategy, Bridge is a Sport, means that the NBOs should get in their own National Olympic Committee. That's some of them did, fortunately. There are about 60, maybe 70 of them, not bad, but not all. And secondly, what I really regret is something even more important, is that for more than 30 years, I fight to teach bridge in schools, schools and universities. This is very important because bridge need the youth, need young players. And starting in the school is the key to bring the people. And we have many examples of some pupils who learn bridge in school became champion. And but not only we need champion, we need a mass, we need great numbers. And again, unfortunately, for some reason, the NBO don't follow as much as I would like because sometimes the parents are reluctant. They say, oh no, playing cards is not good for the children and so on. But we are not talking about playing cards here. We are talking about bridge being a sport and moreover, bridge bringing a lot to learn how to reason, learn to exercise your memory, your concentration, and so on. So bridge is very, very good for the children, as it is good, by the way, for the adults and for the older people. But it's very difficult in a position of international president. You can recommend, you can do a lot, but if the people don't follow, what can we do?
José, can you explain in a few words what means Sport Accord?
Yes, it's very easy. Sport Accord is the most important body in sport besides the International Olympic Committee. The IOC gathers the national Olympic committees from the world. There are about 200. Instead, Sport Accord assemble all the international federations, whether they are Olympic, non-Olympic, or even not recognized. So that means that all the sports, as big as football, for instance, or badminton, or bridge, or draft, the main sports are in. And bridge and chess, of course, belong to the IOC also, but they are the only two main sports who belong to. So Sports Accord is really the biggest body who gather every international federation and bodies who are taking care of sports, who are the one who makes the rule of any sport. And that's very important because every year we have a very, very big convention of all the sports who are gathered in one place, in one city, and everybody is here, everybody, including the IOC, including all the people from president of federation and so on, and they follow some seminars, some they all gather each other to talk about, for instance, the anti-doping, for instance, betting, every main important subject are on the floor there, are discussed, and then we go ahead. That's very, very important. We, as Bridge, we belong to Sport Accord since 2000. we have been accepted as member in the year 2000. That was in Monaco. And the chess came 2 years later, as well as in the IOC. We got our first recognition from the IOC in 1998, and chess the year after.
We were first.
Yeah, I'm quite proud of that. I mean.
Okay, José, my last question. Did you teach your sons to play bridge?
Did my sons? What you doing?
Tus hijos.
Teach your sons to play bridge.
Sorry. But that's a question. As a matter of fact, none of my children play bridge, but I have a son-in-law who is a good player, one of the what we call in France first category player, not internationally, but right under that level. He's good. I won some event with him, and we enjoy very much playing. Unfortunately, my sons are interested in some other sport. For instance, I have a son who is a driver, pilot, and he is in this business of motor races and so on. So he's now he's third in the French championship. One of my other sons is involved in golf, and they are all in business of sport also. And my daughter learn bridge and play a little, but with her husband also. But she's much more interested in. She's a teacher in communication. She teaches in the university. She teaches communication, which was also part of my business. And she loves writing. She writes novels and things like that. So, everyone may have its own interest in life, but that's good. We all enjoy.
Thank you so much, José. What mean IMSA and what is the goals?
Yes, I believe that we should say something about this because it's quite important. IMSA is International Mind Sport Association, which I found in 2005 in Berlin for one main purpose. It happens, unfortunately, that we have known in 2002 that there were no hope, at least for the time being, for bridge to be included in the Olympic Games. Why? Why? Because the IOC decided in any case to stick on the 28 sports in the Summer Games and 7 in the Winter Games. So it came to my mind that we should have an event specific for the mind sports, in a way parallel to the Olympic Games. And after the creation of IMSA, we immediately decided to organize what we have called the World Mind Sport Games, which we held for the first time in Beijing in 2008, with quite a big budget of around $15 million, which allow us to invite totally the youth player. We had, for bridge, we had 110 youth teams, which we cover all the expense, travel, accommodation, and everything, which is really, in my view, what we should do for the promotion of bridge. And so the idea was to continue the same cycle than the Summer Olympic. So we did again it in Lille in 2012, and Lille was linked a little bit also with the Summer Olympic because Lille was the training city for London. So frankly speaking, I could say that we succeed in that, and moreover, we succeed in bringing all the mind sport together for the Sport Accord World Mind Games also. We had a special contract with Beijing, and we had already twice this smaller event, but a nice one in 2011 and 12 It will be the third edition this year, and normally fourth one next year, because the contract in between Sportacor and Beijing was for 4 years. So the reason also for that is to give more visibility to our sports, to get more media coverage. And we succeed in Beijing, it was quite tremendous, with the Sportacor main games also. And in Lille last year, frankly speaking, I was myself surprised of the interest of all the big newspapers from the worldwide, and also the television and so on. We got very good. So in a way, I am quite satisfied with that. Unfortunately, it's more difficult to run a body like IMSA with different international federations which have their own ego, their own interest, and than to work with a national federation. Still, I believe that I did my job, and now the president of IMSA is the president of FIDE, Kirsan Ilyuzhminov, which is quite a man, an important man, not only in Russia, where he is very close to the president of Russia, but also because FIDE is quite a big international federation, and I hope that he will follow a little bit what we have done till now, or if he has new ideas, good. Let's hope that IMSA will have a good future.
Recently, the International Olympic Committee changed president. Do you think that bridge have a chance to take part in the Olympic Physics Games?
Frankly speaking, I don't believe, because again, I'm quite not sure that this president will not change all the system, and you know, it's very hard, because for instance now this the same was I believe beginning of September the new president was elected, but the IOC also decided that for 2020, so you understand, for 2020 they reinstate the wrestling, which was out, because the rule right now in the IOC is that they can bring only a new sport if one gets out. So that means that, yes, that's the reason why for 2016 they threw out softball and baseball to get in rugby and golf. Rugby 7, small one. So that's for 2016. And for 2020, it's already decided that they stick on that with wrestling, which was supposed to get out, so that they reinstate. So they stick on this 20 export in any event. So I don't see that we can. No, our chance would have been to get in the Winter Olympic, because there is a lot
like
of
Salt Lake City.
Yeah, yes, and I am quite sure that maybe my colleague and successor Ilyuzhminov will try to do what I did in Salt Lake City for bridge. He certainly will find a way to do something for chess in Sochi. We'll see. In any event, it's very close now. We are very close. We'll see what will happen. But frankly speaking, I don't believe that we will be integrated in the Olympic Games. But what is quite on the right track for the time being is that the World Mind Sport Games got already the patronage of the IOC. That means that the idea of having a specific event being recognized by the IOC as a parallel event, like the Paralympic, for instance, you know, that would be terrific. I believe that this is the way for us to get in the games. The family we are in, but to get in the games, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Jose.
My pleasure. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.